Well, hey, welcome to Danny Hooper Edibles, and today you chose to watch a very, very good episode because I just finished cooking an absolutely fabulous wild mushroom risotto. Risotto is easy to make. It's a ton of fun to make. There's 1,000 different risotto recipes, and you can do endless combinations of ingredients into risotto. But today I've chosen a lovely wild mushroom mix, and it is unreal. Let's show you how to make it right now on Danny Hooper Edibles. Risotto. We're going to heat up this pan, beautiful carbon steel fry pan here that I use for risotto, and it does an excellent job. The deep sides on it are nice. Going to heat a little bit of olive oil to get going. Now, what is happening behind the scenes here is that I have some chicken stock that I have heated. I've got it just at a simmer right now. I put 1 tablespoon of this stuff in the Better Than Bouillon. I kind of like it. It's pretty salty, very salty, but still very, very delicious. And the mushrooms I'm using here come from the Wild Mushroom Company. Again, I just buy a great big container of those at Costco, dried gourmet mushroom mix, as you can see on the cover there. And what I'm doing is reconstituting them in boiling water. I've just boiled some water in this little pot, and I've put probably, I would say, about half a cup, a little better than maybe half a cup, half to 3/4 of a cup of the dried mushrooms into this boiling water, and now they're just going to sit, and in about 15 minutes time they'll be ready to strain and chop up and add to the risotto. So our oil is coming up to temperature here now very nicely, and we are going to get started by adding a couple of tablespoons of shallots. Simmer for a second, and the next thing we're going to add is 1 cup of carnaroli rice. Now this is the carnaroli rice is made especially for making risotto and other special dishes, and it is an Italian rice. It's fairly starchy, and you never want to rinse your risotto. You just want to use it unrinsed because you're looking for the starch in that rice to create kind of a creamy effect in your finished product. Okay, we're ready now to add 1 cup of the arborio or carnaroli rice. There's 2 types, the arborio and carnaroli. The carnaroli is a little bit more expensive. A lot of people like risotto with the carnaroli better. A little bit of a premium product. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to speak intelligently about the difference between the 2 rices. They both work just fine. Now, the thing with risotto, it's a hands-on dish. It's going to take about 20 minutes to prepare, and you have to continually keep stirring this rice. You don't want it to burn, and what we're going to do here now is it starts to heat up in that oil. We are going to take some white wine, and this is a Pinot Grigio, Friuli, Kirkland brand. Can't beat it. Best before August 15th. Okay. Add a little white wine, Pinot Grigio. Oh yeah. All right, again, we keep stirring. Now what's happening is that rice is going to first of all absorb the beautiful Pinot Grigio wine. We've got those shallots in there as well, looking pretty nice. And as soon as that wine gets absorbed into those grains of carnaroli, or the arborio rice, if that's what you're using, then we're going to start adding stock, a ladleful at a time, stirring continuously until it's absorbed. And we'll add another ladle, keep stirring it. Time now to start adding our chicken stock. Once again, we've got that good fast simmer going, and we'll keep adding that stock 1 ladleful at a time. All right, you can see how that rice is really absorbing all of that stock and sucked all that Pinot Grigio wine up, and now it's been drinking up the stock, and you can see how it's just expanding in size. We started with 1 cup of dry rice, and I don't know, I'm probably guessing we probably have at least 3, maybe 4 cups of rice in there now. So just keep adding the stock. Got to keep stirring it. If you don't, it's such a starchy rice that it will stick to the pan and possibly burn. All right, you can see our risotto is just expanding beautifully here. I've turned the heat down just ever so slightly, just a little below medium here on this gas range, and we'll just slow that simmer down. I'm going to put a tiny bit more stock in there. Started with 6 cups of stock, And we've probably got another couple of 2 cups in the pot to go if we need it. So as I say, we've slowed the simmer down on the risotto for just a second to give me some breathing space here, because the next thing I have to do is I have to strain these mushrooms, and to do that I have taken a cheesecloth and put it inside this fine mesh colander, and I'm going to pour these mushrooms into here. I want to save that stock, but first of all we want to filter out any sand or grit or dirt that might be in those mushrooms. Let that strain out, and that dark stock is beautiful mushroom flavor. Oh my gosh. Put those in our cutting board. Now, got this beautiful filtered mushroom stock, and we're going to take and add that to our risotto. Now, this is the salt that you want to use when you're making risotto. Maldon. These are sea salt flakes, and it's absolutely spectacular salt. Dissolves very, very nicely. You know what? I want to say something to you people at Apple right now, because I'm using your product because I do love it, and it does work, just like Steve Jobs always says. It just works. But I want to say this to you people at Apple, you technology gurus. Why don't you come up with something where people can smell and taste this stuff? The whole house just smells the aroma of this mushroom risotto right now, and the flavor. I'm going to turn this heat down to a slower simmer. Okay, anyway, time now, and if you come up with that idea, that was my idea. So, yeah, pay me something off that. I'm going to chop up these mushrooms. Okay. We got the fresh sage from the garden. And finally, a half a cup of grated Parmesan Parmigiano Parmesan cheese. Let's go with that. Parmesan Reggiano, I think. Oh, I try and act way smarter than I am. I try and pretend like I know a lot more about all of this than I really do. But thank you for bearing with me. Lots of cheese. Oh yeah, lots of cheese. Now we're going to incorporate that. We're going to shut this heat off. We're done cooking. And that Parmesan is just going to melt into that. One final little taste for I was thinking before I tasted it, maybe a crack of fresh pepper in there, but you know what, honestly, it doesn't even need it. We're going to leave it right there. It's absolutely perfect. That, my friends, is how you make wild mushroom risotto right here on Danny Hooper Edibles. Hungry? Let's eat.